수고가 나마세파.
Okay guys, this one truly blew my mind. Oxford researchers just confirmed what we feared. The internet, as we knew it, is dying. Now that is the opening line of a post referencing this chart. It shows that for the first time ever, AI-generated news articles have now outnumbered those written by real humans. And the thing is, only 5 years ago, that is a small child, remember? This was 100% human, 0% AI, or near that. But then in 2022, when ChatGPT launched, everything changed. Now, as someone in the news space, to me, this was pretty shocking, especially since that post then says projections say 90% plus will be AI by next year. And to make it worse, quote, the real crisis is model collapse. Oh, so that wasn't the real crisis? When this, I was like, this sounds like some real life dead internet theory type beat. So I did some research, and turns out this data is not from Oxford, rather from an SEO company which used AI to detect if an article was written by AI. But their own methodology says that, quote, many argue that detecting AI is impossible or at best highly inaccurate. So that throws into question if this graph is even correct. But let's just go along for a second and say that it is. Another thing that the study also didn't include is the number of views each article had that they evaluated. Because let's be honest, the total number of AI-written articles on the internet is kind of meaningless if no one is reading them. But what about that crisis of AI models being trained on AI content? Because the articles are still out there. Well, I too was interested in that, so I go back to the original post, and lo and behold, I find a human AI expert who has worked at Meta, Uber, Amazon, Apple, Microsoft, and he said that model collapse is widely considered not a real problem. He then lists the reasons why and provides research to back up this claim. Bro, and at this point, I am baffled. I was like, that original post, everything from the intro to the sources to the real crisis, everything was sus. What did I just read? And then there's the kicker. I go to look at who wrote it, and turns out it's not a who, it's an it. Perplexity AI was the originator of this post. God damn. How is AI? War against the machines. I remembered, when you get hit by a car, you don't blame the car, you blame the driver. And guess who's the driver? AI is not killing the future, humans are. Because guess who generated that post? But also, before our souls disappear, guess who corrected that post? Another human. It's too much for my brain. Moving on! Okay, guys, the Penguin Zero situation is crazy. And you know what? I'm gonna say it. I wish that I never even saw this. Yeah. So a few days ago, he made a video titled, I'm turning it off. And what he was referring to is donations. He refused to allow his supporters to give him any more money. He basically said, I don't need more, and now more than ever, don't give it to me. Which, I'm not gonna lie, have you ever heard a wealthy person say, stop giving me money? Top one time I've ever heard it, actually.
To a normal person who is actually working their ass off every single day in a 9-to-5 environment, grinding in the hopes of chasing the American dream, and then they'll come home, maybe turn on my stream and donate a couple of dollars to me. And it just doesn't sit right with me taking that kind of money, given what I've made from all of this.
But fair enough to say, people were caught so off guard by this, they said, this is so based of Charlie. I'm gonna donate my money to him. Another one said, you'll never turn us off, Charlie. Take our money! So much so that a couple of days later, he had to post a video saying, I am not turning it back on, and then he kind of laid out, here's why. He then had to proceed to show, just to stop them flooding in, the genuinely staggering amounts amounts of money that he's made on Twitch and YouTube. And for context, for anyone who doesn't know who Penguin, 17 million subscribers on YouTube, which is easily top 1% on the platform. He posts every day, if not multiple times a day, and each video, on average, it gets between 1 and 3 million. A handful of YouTubers in the world that people just watch and are happy to watch, just yap. Anyway, now the stage is set, starting with his earnings from Twitch, which apparently he doesn't even do anymore. Apparently he's not a streamer, and he said that he's not even in the top 20 for what he's about to show you that he makes. From 2021 to 2025, he made 4.1 million.
And all the way until today, I have made
Okay, I ain't even born yet. Oh, never mind. I lied. I was born already. Damn, I'm old.
$35.8 million.
Insane. And what's even crazier is that if you actually look at this chart, yes, he's been making content since what, like 2007 that he started this channel? He didn't even really start properly earning money until, I would say, like 2019-ish. And that's when it just goes crazy, which I guess is a reminder to anyone making content, including here at the News Daddy Empire. It took him more than a decade of making YouTube content before the real money started rolling in. So keep at do it. Oh, and also key sense revenue. That is excluding all brand deals, all sponsorships, and his own products, which I know that most YouTubers say that's where the actual majority of their money comes from. AdSense is just a nice portion on the side. So if that's anything similar to Charlie, my boy's rich. And as for how much money he was actually making from his fans, which is why he turned it off, this.
So with memberships and supers slash gifts, I made over $1 million. Keep in mind, I've only had those things enabled for about a year. So it was $1 million in a year from just normal people donating it to me. Again, that just doesn't fucking sit right with me.
Bro, and the comments are hilarious. I've never been jump scared by 35 million before. This might be the rarest thing of all time. Someone who's actually rich saying, stop giving me money, I already have plenty. People being mad that they can't give a rich person money is the most first world country problem I've ever heard. You know what? Thinking about it, if Charlie has made 35 mil from his views,
oh God,
just imagine what Mr. Beast must be making. That's actually top 5 things I'd love to know before I die. It's got to be in the 100 millis, at least.
Not even close. A billion.
Actually,
a billion.
Speaking of which, our next story, pretty full 180. Moving on. Also this week, we got you could be potentially plotting something pretty big. Reports came out that Jimmy could be opening his own bank.
Am I getting free cash back? Alright, yap away. Yap away. Bye-bye.
You heard that right. I guess it's pretty ironic considering we've got one YouTuber saying, don't give me any more money, and another YouTuber literally potentially
keep
opening
your
a
money.
bank. Now, various publications this week, like Newsweek and Business Insider, they report that they have personally seen an application filed with the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office for what appears to be a banking app called Mr. Beast Financial. You really missed the opportunity to call it Beast Bank. but okay. Now, they claim that this application was filed on October the 13th, and more specifically, this seems to be a banking app, investment banking, and possible loans. He'd be earning annual fees for the credit card, etc. However, big caveat to all of this, Mr. Beast hasn't said anything about it, nor has this trademark application been accepted, or verified yet. So for now, all that we've got is just the app thing. Are we actually seeing a resurgence of religion, particularly amongst young people? Well, many seem to believe so, saying that there's a Christian revival across the United States. Bible sales have soared 41% over there about something, and that is because the Roman Catholic Church have officially set up.
But again, well, coexistence, whatever. I don't really know about this. I'm not really going to talk about it.
Applauding this. They are saying that it's good for the inclusivity and the unity between religions.
Exactly. Coexistence.
And noting that the Pope himself is very welcoming of Muslims into the Vatican. In fact, they go there a lot too, go to the library and do a lot of studying and research. But of course, there's both sides, and there's been a lot of backlash online for the other way around. Because they say that non-Muslims are totally banned from stepping foot in Islam's holy city of Mecca under Saudi law, let alone praying to another god. But as always, let me know what your guys' thoughts are about this situation in the comments. Moving on. Also this week, the Pope was gifted something very unusual. Now, in recent months, he's been given a lot of gifts coming out of the Vatican that today the News Daddy Empire will too be giving the gift of Proton Mail. Woo! And let me tell you, I think that you're getting a way better gift than the Pope. Because what is the point of riding a horse when at home you're evil?
Hold up. Wait a minute.
Gmail's own lawyers said that users don't have zero access end-to-end encryption.
Nah, it's impossible. They probably have a backdoor to access everybody's emails. Backdoor? I know what a backdoor is.
So easy. Just a few clicks later, you've moved your entire inbox, your calendar, your contacts, everything. And you might not believe me when I tell you, but I give you this gift for free. Yes, for free. It's proton.me/DylanPage, and you and the Pope can ride off into the sunset with Proton. Moving on. At the Pentagon. On Wednesday, all journalists that worked there